Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Chris.
This is Mike and Chris Reloaded. Hey, Chris, a lot of people know I'm a stay at home dad because I have some issues mentally, physically, all that good shit.
That's this good stuff.
Yeah, so I get bored a lot. And you know, what do I do when I get bored? I go to Netflix and I binge the shit out of shows. So
There's quite a few of them on there.
there are quite a few of them. So I thought, maybe we should talk about some of those shows we binge.
I'm sensing a podcast idea.
It might be a podcast idea. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So starting off is one of the hits, and I noticed a trend in my list here though. Quite a few of these are Netflix originals.
I've noticed that also, actually.
So I mean, not that there's anything wrong. I mean, they're great shows, but the first one to hit it off is Orange and the New Black. Came out in July 2013, still ongoing. 4 seasons.
I am sad to admit that I have not seen any of it yet. However, I have heard really good things about it, and something I have noticed actually too. And I know you talk about a lot of these are Netflix originals. I have seen Netflix has actually put out a lot of really big hits actually on
Yeah,
Netflix originals.
yeah, they have.
They're becoming like a major powerhouse when it comes to shows nowadays.
And we're coining that Netflix, so you owe us money now.
And the thing about them is because it's an actual pay channel, a pay
Service, yeah.
service that they can actually they don't have to edit a lot of their stuff that you see on regular like CBS, NBC, Fox, whatever. So you see the violence, the cursing, some of the nudity, things of that nature.
And Orange is the New Black has a ton of freaking nudity. I'm gonna
Well, I
tell
know
you
what
that.
my next show I'm going to watch is
It
then.
has a ton of nudity. It's you basically find a girl follow a girl Piper Chapman. She's 30 years old. She she had a girlfriend. She had a lesbian relationship with a girl 10 years ago, and she smuggled drugs in. Well, 10 years later, the chick from
Laura Prepon is her name.
yeah, Laura Papon, and basically she gets busted for drug trafficking and rats out Piper Chapman, and they both go to prison, and they have to deal with each other in prison and stuff. And
And hilarity prison escapades ensue.
yes, women's penitentiary nakedness fun ensues.
I don't know. I've seen some of the women in there. I don't know if I'd
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
see them naked.
yeah. No, you don't. Some of them you actually don't want to see naked, but it's got 4 seasons. It's an hour long. It's a Netflix original. I mean, it's a good show. You should check it out.
um,
What we're gonna do here too is just to go on that is we're gonna not spoil these for you.
we'll give you a brief synopsis of each show, and so that way, if you feel something you're interested in to binge watch, you go right ahead. But we're not going to go into details on a lot of this stuff, so that way we can leave it for you guys to decide if you like it or not.
Yeah, so just let you know, non spoilage, so you can continue listening. So what's the next one there, Chris?
How about Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
Again, sad to say, a show that I have not seen yet, which everyone's told me they've got onto me about it. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Which I love Bryan Cranston and I like Aaron Paul also, who are both in it.
Yeah,
Uh,
Aaron Paul's got a new Hulu original show, but
he
we're
does.
talking about Netflix today.
Yes, we'll go Hulu later.
Okay.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston plays Walter White, a a chemistry teacher in high school,
Yep.
who finds out he's diagnosed with cancer.
Yep. And inoperable lung cancer.
And come to find out, I guess something about his family won't get covered because of something insurance lapse or something of that nature. I don't remember quite the. I've seen a few episodes of it. I can't say I haven't seen all of it, but anyway, he decides to go in the business of making drugs and to take care of his family before he dies.
Yeah, he decides he wants to make crystal meth, and he becomes actually a savant at making crystal meth in the
It
shows.
doesn't he make some like weird strain of it that's like different from
Yeah,
everything else.
it's like the purest strain ever to hit the streets. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good show. It's definitely worth binge watching. It's got 5 seasons, 45-minute long episode. Like Chris said, it's got Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul in it,
Sword
man.
on.
So move on to the next one. Dexter,
Yep.
another one Chris hasn't seen.
Yet another one. I've seen a few episodes of it.
I know.
I've seen enough to know about it.
Well, that's good, but it is an amazing series. I would say Breaking Bad and Dexter are two of the top series that are on
I
Netflix.
know Kent is actually a huge, huge Dexter fan. He loves that show.
Yeah,
So
it's actually Kent is the one reason that I watched it.
Oh, well,
because he
there you
told
go.
me to watch it. So, and he's the reason I gave it a try.
You
But
don't you don't ever listen to me when I tell you to do something.
bullshit. I watched High School DxD because of you,
Oh well,
and I don't even remember. I've watched so much because of you.
and I'm saying
It's a good anime.
all right there.
It's a good anime. I had made my top 5 list, didn't it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. That goes your number one.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, let's go back to the notes. I have them here. What is my number one? Yes, it did make my number one. I had to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was my number one. So, but anyways, Dexter, 8 season, 45 minutes long to an hour. It's got Michael C. Hall plays Dexter Morgan, a child, an adopted child who has the sense he has an urge to kill and murder people, and his father trained him to murder killers only. So,
Yeah, because he experienced something as a child. I guess that
yeah,
traumatized him.
yeah, he experienced the way he was found. I don't want to say. I mean, that might be a spoiler, but he was found in a very bloody, war zone type thing, drug deal gone bad type thing,
Oh,
where
okay.
there's blood and guts everywhere, and he was covered in blood, and his foster dad or stepdad or adopted dad came in there and rescued him out of there.
Yeah, but yes, he's a serial killer that kills killers.
Yep.
But he's also a forensics. I guess like he does forensic blood splatter on crime scenes and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I guess he's kind of got an insight to where these guys are, who they are. So
Yeah, and he only kills killers that get away with it.
okay,
That's what he goes for. It's killers that get away with it. So, you know, you were convicted or tried for something, and then they dropped the case because they had insufficient evidence or a bad search warrant or something like that. He takes matters into his own hands.
hmm.
So
A killer of killers. What do you
that's
know?
right. So next one on the list,
One you turned me on to is Ajin.
very good anime.
I've seen it. I have seen started watching this. I've seen a couple episodes already, so it's different. It's somewhat unique, I guess. I don't remember the kid's name, but
It's Ken Nagi or Kai Nagi.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, Kai Nagi,
That kind of key.
not Kaneki.
Yeah.
Kai, and then
Yeah.
second name Nagi
No, this one's actually
or
better
Nagai.
than the other one so far.
Yeah, better than Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Tokyo
Anyway,
Ghoul's good.
I guess the world discovers there's Ajins, which is basically people who they call demigods or demi-humans or
Yeah,
whatever,
demi-humans.
and they cannot die,
Hmm.
supposedly, that I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. It came out in 2016, I believe, to present. It's
Yes.
got 2 seasons out there, about 26 episodes. It's 25 minutes long, so if you don't have a lot of time to devote to binge watching over this next coming week, binge watch a gym. I mean, something quick you can get through, devoting maybe 3, 4 days.
Yeah. I will admit, like I said, I've seen the first couple episodes, and it's pretty good so far. What I've seen of it, it's pretty suspenseful, pretty actiony, pretty violent. So
Yeah, it basically follows a kid who walks out in front of a truck and gets hit by a truck and dies in front of everybody, but comes back to life as an immortal. And it's about him and his friend Kato. They're running from the government because the government wants to collect all the immortal gens, the demi-humans that are out there, and do weird experimental shit on them. So I mean, it's good. It's got some ups, downs. It's got some fighting scenes. It's got the action and adventure, and
hmm
I like it. And
like I said,
it,
so far what I've seen, it started out a lot better than Tokyo Ghoul.
yeah. Oh yeah, Tokyo Ghoul falls into
Now,
the whitey
okay,
ditch.
I will say this real quick before we move on. Tokyo Ghoul did actually start out pretty good the first couple of episodes, and then it just like crapped out after that until the last episode of the
Yeah,
first season.
yeah,
So I mean, you've got the girl you're thinking that's going around the cannibal or whatever girl that's going around killing other
right.
girls, and she ends up killing Kaneki or whatever, and then or trying to anyway, and that that part right there where the first intro, the first episode or two, thought it was going to be pretty good, and then it's just like
Yeah, it takes a lot. It's got a lot of character development plot lines in
a
it.
lot,
So I mean, it doesn't have as much action as you like in the middle of the first season. So,
a lot.
but it starts good and ends good. I like it. I enjoy the story. I mean, just me. So the next one on our list is going back to another Netflix original, Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, and we're these next few we're going to talk about is all of Marvel's um, Netflix original Marvel ones. So Jessica Jones, Christian Ritter, David Tennant, Mike Coulter. Um, if you also and something I'll point out here in just a minute, but anyway, Jessica Jones, she's a private detective who's a raging alcoholic.
Yeah, she just quit her brief career as a superhero.
Yes,
That's where this takes place.
and she's got super strength. She can jump at lengths, and I don't think she's indestructible, but she's basically strong.
Yeah, she's like super chick.
Yeah, like she can lift a car strong.
Yeah. Now this show does have, I believe it does have some nudity and stuff in it.
It
So I
does have a
mean,
little bit of nudity in it, lots of
so
language,
so this is a
violence.
mature show.
In fact, every single one of these are mature.
Yeah, they are.
Um, but yeah, like I said, good show. She's a private investigator. She is running from a guy that she calls Kilgrave, who is actually someone that can, I guess, they come to find out later, but we'll just keep it simple right now. He almost can like hypnotize people,
Yeah.
but you find out other things later. Again, we're not going to really spoil this stuff. And she's trying to keep away from this guy, and she has some secrets to hide of her own. That's why she drinks a lot. And
Yep.
but very good. This one actually was pretty good. I was really surprised. I kind of actually liked this one.
Yeah, this one was actually one of my. This one was my favorite out of the group, except for the Punisher season of Daredevil.
I have yet to watch Punisher or the Punisher second season. Or I've seen 3 or 4 episodes of the second season so far. I haven't seen it all, but which will take us right to our next one.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Daredevil. Charlie Cox.
Plays Matt Murdock, a
Uh,
blind lawyer.
yep. Rosario Dawson's also in it. Um, yeah. Story of Matt Murdock, who was blinded as a child by some chemicals. Everybody
Hmm.
knows the Daredevil. Well, a lot of people do, I should say. But when losing his sight, he gained extraordinary heightened abilities on his other senses, other four senses.
Yep.
So he can see kind of the way through everything else, basically through sound, touch, smell. Everything is all completely heightened.
Yeah, the first season basically pits him against Wilson Fisk.
Who's the Kingpin, which is actually played by Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a good season. Not gonna tell you what happens. And the second season, which is my favorite season, you got what's his name?
John Berthenol,
Yeah, John Britnall from
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. He plays the Punisher, which the Punisher is going to be getting its own series here within the next year or so, right?
I think it's the.
Isn't it 2018 it comes out, or does it come out
Mm,
2017?
I think it comes out this year.
Does it come out this year?
I
I
think it
lost
comes out
track.
this summer.
I'm losing track because they're pumping out so many Marvels. So
Yeah, because I think that comes out this summer, and then the Defenders will come out at the end of the year.
oh, you're right. That is the way it is going to. Yep, you are correct.
Which I guess next one will go into Luke Cage, um, played by Mike Coulter. If you watch Jessica Jones, you'll see actually Luke Cage in Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
That kind of introduces him, and
yeah. It's a different timeline, I think, or something. I don't know.
basically he is kind of a hero for hire, but he's actually just as strong as Jessica Jones, if not a little bit stronger, and then he's actually indestructible. His skin is impenetrable.
Yeah, this show actually follows him after he's a felon in the Luke Cage series. He's actually a felon that's running from the law and basically tries to save his city of Harlem from the corruption that's in there while he's avoiding the law.
Yeah, because I think Luke Cage actually takes place before meeting Jessica Jones,
Yeah, I
doesn't he?
think that it's a different timeline because in Jessica Jones, Luke Cage is a bartender.
Yeah.
In Luke Cage, he works at a barber shop.
Okay.
So,
Um, um,
but yeah, there's one season, 44 minutes long. Sometimes it runs an hour, but most of the time it's like 45 minutes. It's a good show. It's like talking earlier, it's mature rated, so I mean, it really does do well as far as giving you the violence that you want out of these type of superheroes. So one
I
season
think
you could do.
that's been a big argument with a lot of people. Is like you see a lot of comic people who have read comic books in the past and stuff have seen a lot of violence things in comic books, but yet you see all these new Marvel movies and stuff or whatever the movies putting these movies out. They're like they kind of dumb it down a little bit. Like yeah, you see like punching here, punching there, or they're killing some unknown alien or something or whatever.
Right.
But you don't really see the violence you'll see in this stuff, which actually happens a lot in the comic books.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we like. Is like people are like, well, can you make an R-rated Marvel movie? Well, there you go.
Yeah, you're
You
getting
know,
your R-rated Marvel movies.
yeah, Deadpool, Logan. So yeah, you're starting to see him out more and more, and people are attracted to him. So
Yeah. Yeah, I understand the opposite, the polarization of that. The parents were like, "Why can't I take my kids to see a comic book movie? Why do you have to make it rated R?" So I mean, I understand, they grew up reading comics too, if they're comic book readers, and now they can't go see these movies but you know what? Tough shit. I want to see a rated R one.
yeah, really.
So I mean, if you're gonna whine about it, go home.
Um, Last but not least, Iron Fist.
Yep, last of the Marvel ones. Another Netflix original, of course. It's got Finn Jones plays Danny Rand.
Danny Rand, who's the legendary Iron Fist. Basically, real quick, he was a kid, crash landed in the Himalayas, was raised by Tibetan
Monks.
monks to basically learn how to defend himself, fight, whatever, martial arts. And he took the trial of Kun Lao, the trial of Kun Lao, the Golden Dragon or whatever, which he imbued him with the Iron Fist. But and his sole purpose is to fight off the hand, which you notice if in all of these they all have
Right.
the hand is a big thing in them.
Yeah, this one he in this series he comes back 15 years later
Yes,
after the plane crash that wiped out his family, and he retakes his parents are really wealthy, so now he retakes the family business and starts running the family business. I believe from his evil uncle who wants to control everything.
yes.
So now it's his struggle with the crime and the corruption that's going on in his business, and them trying to take him out. So
It was a good series. I liked it. It 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 had your character development like you talk about.
hmm
Um, I felt it could have used a little more action in it. I would have liked to have seen him like actually go full on, martial arts ninja on everybody and everything.
right.
He didn't do that till kind of towards the end a little bit, but I liked it. I know in the comic books, Luke Cage and Danny Rand teamed up for a comic book series called Power Man and Iron Fist.
I
Um,
didn't know that.
they actually teamed up for quite a few like 100 and some issues of comic book. They were a team for a while, and of course in the comic books, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones were actually married. So you have all these like 6 degrees of separations and all these things. But what the real thing is in all these series, the one thing that links them all together is Rosario Dawson.
Oh, really?
Yes, she is the nurse and she's in every single series.
I did not know that.
Yes.
God, I gotta pay more
I
attention.
have not seen Luke Cage yet, but if I see Luke Cage, if there's someone else in there, then that's the other person that's in all of them is Carrie Ann Moss. Because she is actually in Jessica Jones, obviously,
Yep.
She is in Daredevil,
Yeah.
and then she is in Iron Fist.
Okay.
Um,
I, a confession, I haven't seen Iron Fist. It's on my thing to watch this month.
which
So.
is funny because there's one scene in Iron Fist actually where one of the ladies, the girl was hired, had photos of like a board of supervisors or whatever that she was going to use to blackmail,
Mm-hmm.
and her brother asked, "Where did you get these pictures from?" She goes, "Well, I know a private detective." She goes, "She's very good, but she always drinks a lot." So
Gotcha.
it gave a little reference there to Jessica Jones. So
And now all these are building up to the Defenders, right?
yes, which they form a team basically to fight off the Hand and save, Hell's Kitchen and New York and all that stuff. So
Yeah. New York, Harlem, Hell's Kitchen, basically all one big giant city. They're each in their own little part of the city.
Yeah.
Their own borough, I guess. Is that what they call them? Boroughs up there?
Close enough.
I'm not educated, so.
Good enough for government work.
But next on our list, we're gonna get away from Netflix originals for a couple,
Just one or two.
just one or two. Walking Dead. If you haven't seen The Walking Dead, it came out October of 2010.
Yeah, if you haven't seen The Walking Dead, come out from underneath your bunker. The war is over.
That's right.
If you have not heard of The Walking Dead, you are dead. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Andrew Lincoln, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's in it now, Norman Reedus. I can go on. There's everyone, a bunch of people. Chandler Riggs, Diana Garan. I don't even know if we need to explain anything about this.
I don't know, maybe somebody, but basically it follows Rick Grimes, who wakes up from a gunshot wound, and he's in a zombie apocalypse.
Pretty much so.
And it's his story to finding his family and trying to survive.
Yes, and a lot of and what I've noticed about this show as well as the comic books is that nobody's sacred in this show.
Yeah, please excuse our train going by, if you can hear that.
Yep.
We're not rich, and we don't have soundproofing.
That's ambiance, Mike. That's what it's
That's
called, ambiance.
Well, I know we could edit it out, but I'm too freaking lazy. So actually, I like.
That's our studio sound effects.
Yeah, that's actually our thing, though. If you think about it, we don't edit our show. I mean, I like putting it out there unedited. It's like an unspoken rule we have. It's like comedy, like raw. It's art. That's the word I'm looking for. It's freaking art.
Well, yeah, I guess it is.
Okay, anyways, about The Walking Dead. Screw The Walking Dead. Let's watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch the damn show.
7th season just ended, so they're going to season 8 this later on this year.
That's going to be delayed because of the stupid writers' strike. Yeah, already talking. Game of Thrones will not be delayed because that's already written.
Yeah, in fact, it's supposed to come out in July.
Yeah.
July this year.
Well, it was supposed to come out winter, but they pushed it off because they wanted to record an actual winter.
Well, winter is coming.
Well. All that money they make some fake freaking snow. For criminy sakes, how hard is it to drop styrofoam from the ceiling? But anyways,
let's change it up a little, something a little funnier. How about The League?
Yeah. Our first comedy.
Yeah. Oh, it is hilarious. I just actually binge watched this. There's 7 seasons of it. Each episode runs about 20 to 25 minutes long. They're not very long. So if it's something you really want to binge watch, sit down and do it. Do it. I highly recommend it. It is hysterical. It's basically you got a league of 8 people who are in a fantasy football league for, now that we got the NFL draft is over. And they all compete all year long, try and get their points or whatever for a trophy called the Shiva, and it's named after a girl they went to high school who they deemed who was the luckiest girl in the world. But it's Shiva Komini something. They always shout her name. They give her a shout out all the time.
Yeah.
So the whole series is just them just basically busting each other's balls and everything is like the league is the highest thing. It's like the league and then your love life and then it's just like nothing is higher than the league.
Right.
So they hold the league above everything else. So
yeah, this show is basically them trying to balance the league and the rest of their life.
Yeah, and I like one of them works in some kind of office for something. One of the guys works for the public defender office.
Yeah.
Or no, he's a lawyer, defense lawyer. Another guy works for the attorney, the state's attorney's office, district attorney's office. And then there's, you got the one guy's wife's in it. Another guy's a plastic surgeon. So it's not like they're just
they're not broke like us. In other
words. And then you got one guy, the guy who works for the district attorney, his brother Taco. Played by John LaJolie. Oh my God, he's about the funniest one of the whole show.
Right. Yeah, he's funny. I haven't watched too many episodes. I have watched some, so it is pretty good. I'll have to watch it. I might watch the rest of it tonight. My wife closes tonight, so I'll be home
It's
alone.
funny. Yeah, I bet you'd probably get through it. There's only 13 episodes in each season, so I mean, it's not like they're forever. And again, they're each episode's about 20 to 25 minutes long. So,
That's cool. Back to Netflix original. I
uh,
have not,
not originally though.
not originally, no, but now it's a Netflix original, and I
Yes.
have not sat down to watch this new original, but it is on my binge list because I am going to binge this. It is Mystery Science Theater.
3,000.
That's right.
Um, I guess they got Joel back.
Yes, Joel is back.
Joel back. I know Mike Nelson did it originally too. Joel Robinson. It originally came out in 1999.
1989 to 99
Oh,
is when
okay.
it ran.
Yeah. Which, if you don't know anything about this, it's basically you got this guy out in space on a little kind of a spaceship surrounding or space station circling Earth, and he's being put out there for experimentation. He's forced to watch just shitty movies
Yeah, on the
on
Satellite
the
of
on the
Love.
satellite of love. But he sits there and watches them with his robot friends, Crow T Robot and Tom Servo,
Yep.
and they just sit there. And the whole show is them just sitting there in front of the screen. All you see is their shadows, and they're just making fun of the movie the whole time.
Yep. They got henchmen. I said minions. They're called the Mads.
Yeah,
And then the robot army robot friends that he created, he calls them the bots. It's a hilarious thing to watch. I mean, if you haven't watched it, I believe the 1999 season is on there too. Isn't that what you said when you looked at it the other
yes,
day?
yeah. One of the older seasons is
Yeah,
on there,
it
but it's
only
only
has
one season.
one
Yeah,
season. Yeah.
yeah. And then they got the new season out, which has got newer movies.
Yep.
But each year they put, and it's funny. It's like they don't do like super updated movies. They do like old like movies back in the 40s and 50s and 60s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just them kind of just making fun of them, voicing over them, just ribbing them hard, and it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
and let's let you know that this isn't. They don't show you the full movies.
No, no, they cut interludes and stuff like that, and they show clips of it and stuff like
I
that.
mean, they are an hour and a half long, but they're not because you're watching the whole movie.
Yeah, because it takes away. They go away to other things, do other things too.
Yeah. So, but it is a good series. You should check it out. And that brings us to, well, we got two more things. I was going to say the last thing. I want to mention the CW shows.
Yeah, which if you listen to our other podcast,
Yeah.
we talked about this that Netflix had signed a deal with CW,
That they get all the releases 2 weeks after the season ends.
and which some of these seasons have already ended.
Yep.
So we got Legends of Tomorrow, which just ended, so they have new episodes on there.
Yep.
Arrow, Flash.
Flash is ending, I think, this week.
So within a couple weeks, you'll see the new episodes on there. Supergirl is now a CW show.
Yep, and that is ended.
Is there? Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing any shows. I think that's.
Supernatural?
Oh God, yes, I forgot about
Because
that
it's the greatest show on freaking TV! I redlined our whole microphone out because I was so excited.
one. Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't watched Supernatural, take the time to binge it.
I haven't watched Supernatural, Mike.
Binge it. It's
Uh,
gory, it's
uh,
bloody. I mean, it's.
Mike, this each episode's like an hour long, man.
I know, but it's worth it.
There's
It's
like what
45
42
minutes.
seasons.
They're 45 minutes long, and there's 12 seasons.
You know
Okay,
how
there's
how
only 12
old
seasons. And
how old can Dean and what's his name be now? They're like what
the
75 years old each.
Bobby Singer, I believe, is the producer of the show, and he just did an interview, and he said that Supernatural ratings have tanked, but he doesn't care. Supernatural will continue to make new episodes as long as Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki want to do it. So,
It's a good thing they started when they were young.
yeah, they're funny, man. Idjit. Anyways, okay. We talked about CW. Let's go back to Netflix original.
One last one.
You know, Netflix should pay us.
I think they should too.
I'm going to write them. Tell them we did a whole podcast, nothing about you, and we pretty much talked only about your Netflix originals.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah. But Stranger Things.
And once again, I'm sad to say I have yet to watch this.
You're hiding under a fucking rock.
I must be. I have seen Walking Dead. Does that count?
Yeah.
Does that count?
I mean, Stranger Things is like
And there's
Stranger.
and there's only 8 episodes.
I know there is only 8 episodes, but it's like the '80s throwback TV series that you want. I mean, it's even got Winona Ryder in it for Christ's
I don't
sakes.
know, Mike. I kind of want to forget the '80s.
I don't want to forget the '80s. I was my prime time. I was a stud quarterback. And no, I'm just kidding. I wasn't shit. I was like 10. I think I was 10 in the '80s.
Which I think, yeah, in his head he was a stud quarterback.
Yeah. But Stranger Things, one season, 8 episodes, about 45 minutes long, takes place in Hawkins, Indiana, follows a group of 4 friends who deal with a lab that experiments in the paranormal slash supernatural stuff.
Hmm.
And all this stuff spills out into town, and people disappear, and you know,
Yeah, some weird creatures or something, and then they got
yeah,
the alien girl or
yeah,
whatever.
the demigordons is what they're called. But
Ah,
a demigordon is loose, and it's in an alternate reality, which they call the upside down world. And there's a little experimental girl called 11 who can do
strange things.
strange things. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, if you haven't seen it, you need to sit down for the eight
I think
hours
I
and
might
watch it.
actually start that this evening.
Yeah, you sit down 8 hours, you're done. Well, not even 8 hours; they're only 45 minutes long. So I mean, probably get done with that in about 6 hours.
Yeah, probably.
So one good night of binging, Chris, and you can have it watched.
Possibly.
But that's all we got. Check out some of those shows to binge. We'd like to tell you thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you to the people that went out and rated us on Stitcher and iTunes over
I
the
didn't.
last week.
I can't stand these guys.
Yeah, well, we did have some people rate us, so we have a couple iTunes ratings and a few Stitcher ratings. So if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and rate us. It's easier to do it on your PC because you don't have to fight through an app and downloading shit and all that stuff. So just go to Stitcher.com, Mike and Chris Reloaded, or iTunes.com, Mike and Chris Reloaded. It pops up right there. It'll say rate 5 star, or if you think we're shitty, 1 star, whatever.
Half a star.
Half a star, quarter star, a star, no star.
And don't forget to check out our website, Mike and Chris Reloaded, at libsyn.com, libsyn.com, .libsyn.com.
Yeah, .libsyn.com and Facebook page. Like and share us there.
Instagram, Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and
Google Plus.
yep, Google Plus. You name it, we got it. Just search for us, and let us know in the comments, either on our website, Facebook, any of our social media. What show are you going to binge watch this week?
Yeah, definitely. Or if there's something that we missed that you think is worthy of binge watching, let us know also.
Yeah, because we will watch it.
Yep.
Well,
Well, at
I
least
will.
Mike will anyway.
I will watch the damn show.
I will. I am going to start Stranger Things tonight. I'm going to start watching that this evening.
I'm gonna hug him after we get done on the show, though.
Yeah, I'm not doing it online.
Okay. But I love you, man.
Well, on that note, I'm out.
I'm out of here later.